Summoner. Oh god. Oh, Summoner. I played it. That's one I did play at the media tour. Yep.
Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to my overview on all of the Summoner updates coming to Final Fantasy XIV and Dawntrail. I was recently given the opportunity to try the expansion out early at the
what's new for Summoner
American Media Tour, and that includes checking out all the job changes. Once you're done with this video, be sure to check the link in the description for a playlist to all of the other job changes you might want to see. Quick disclaimer, reminder that Dawntrail is still in development.
Solar Bahamut, it's...
All of this is still subject to change. Don't be surprised if things are a bit different come early access. Now, Summoner is almost entirely the same job.
Shit. Okay. I guess I didn't miss anything.
As an Endwalker, for better or worse. The only notable change to your existing skills before level 90 is that Searing Light is now a 5% damage buff instead of 3, but only lasts 20 seconds instead of 30. After level 90, there's a few traits upgrading existing skills and a few important new skills to slot right into what you were already doing. Some of these are going to be the same across the different casters as well. You'll get Enhanced Swift Cast at level 94, lowering its cooldown to 40%. You'll get Arcane Mastery at the same level, buffing a ton of the Summoner's potencies across the board. I don't even want to go through all of those. And finally, you get Enhanced Addle at level 98, increasing the duration of the debuff to 15 seconds. Summoner then gets some upgrades to its existing skills that'll not feel much different to what you're doing now. At level 92, for example, you get Enhanced Fester, simply changing the skill to Necrotize and increasing its potency by a fair amount. At level 96, you get Enhanced Searing Wind. This causes the skill to grant the Ruby's Glimmer buff for 30 seconds, causing the skill to change into Searing Flash until it's used. This is simply a 600 potency AoE off global, which you'll be looking to throw into your buff windows for another big hit. And then at level 100, you do get a couple of new things. First up is Summon Solar Bahamut. This will replace every other Dreadworm or Firebird trance and summon respectively, ideally always lining up with your 2-minute buff window. It functions nearly identical to the others as well, coming with its own Astral Flow, Enkindle, and even a new special move. When summoning Solar Bahamut, you'll also enter Lightworm Trance, changing Ruin 3 and Tri-Disaster into Umbral Impulse and Umbral Flare respectively. Umbral Impulse is notably a few potencies shy of Fountain of Fire from Firebird Trance.
Oh, it's not as much as Firebird? Fountain of Fire?
But to make up for it, all of Solar Bahamut's other attacks are much more powerful, including his generic auto attack, Lux Wave, which in this build was 33% stronger than both Bahamut and Phoenix's auto attacks. Your Astral Flow is Sun Flare, which just nukes the opponent for a 700 potency AoE with a 60% fall off. Your Enkindle is Exodus, a 1600 potency AoE with a 60% fall off. And finally, upon entering Lightworm Trance, you also gain the buff Refulgent Lux for 30 seconds, granting access to a new skill, Lux Solaris. This ability is a 500 potency AoE heal on a 60-second cooldown, which doesn't really matter because you'll only be using this once every Solar Bahamut, which is once every 2 minutes. So think with that as you will. Its radius is only 15 yalms, but since it doesn't deal any damage, you can freely use it anytime in that 30-second buff window. And that's it, Summoners. I know a lot of people were hoping for the job to develop a bit more with its involvement with the expansion changes.
We were expecting the job to develop.
But for anyone largely enamored with the Summoner job fantasy, it'll be down to how you feel about Solar Bahamut. I'm definitely in the camp that I'd have preferred to not see another Bahamut, or of the...
I think I actually don't know anybody that is like super hyped on Solar Bahamut. Really, like, because we have Shiva, Leviathan, and Ramu right there. So why this extra Bahamut? We already have a Bahamut, and I don't know.
Job aside.
Also, like,
So I'm not super into what I'm seeing for Summoner
Okay.
in Dawntrail.
I actually watched this video because even though I've tested Summoner myself in the media tour, I was thinking maybe I missed something because I didn't get to spend a lot of time with it.
That being said, the job simplicity has made it a common pick amongst endgame raiders and Endwalker, and since it kept its raise, I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of people pick up their book again this expansion. I also found it strange that they just gave them a 500 potency AoE heal as part of their 2-minute buff window, even if they don't have to use it at any point because it's not a damaging skill. Just not the kind of skill I would have expected them to add in, given how all the other changes and additions have gone. But hey, just gonna mean that you have a nice big heal if there's ever a big raid mechanic during twos, so that is nice, I guess. And that's gonna be a wrap for my overview for Summoner in Dawntrail. Be sure to...
For Summoners, I wish they would condense Ruin / Gemshine and Outburst / Tri-Disaster Precious Brilliance down from 4 icons to 2, since you never use non-summon casts while they're up. Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever do that. I wish I could ask them what the thought process was on giving us Bahamut too. Here's what I think it could be. Maybe we meet Solar Bahamut in the story. And meeting Solar Bahamut is really pog. And Solar Bahamut is actually a super badass. And they think, wow, players are going to meet Solar Bahamut and they're going to love Solar Bahamut and they're going to want to summon Solar Bahamut. But we haven't seen that yet. So we don't have that context that they might have. Or it's just something they totally made up and it doesn't have anything to do with anything. That could also be it. I don't know. The cope. Yeah. It just... Maybe Solar Bahamut is in Solution 9. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So... Who knows what's going on in Solution 9? And so maybe it's gonna be something like that. What they could do, maybe they could think about adding some glamours for the different summons. Maybe that would be good, like they did with Carby. Maybe you could glam Solar Bahamut into something else later, but that's probably not gonna happen. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on that. Why don't they make it a bit more like Blue and have all of the available primal eggy form and you have to pick one or the other? Like Shiva or Ifrit. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Where like you have to just decide which ones you're going to go into combat with. Even if it was just a cosmetic thing, I think that would be pretty awesome to set yourself apart from other summoners and give it a little bit of the flavor. A little flavor.